Hi, this is Paul Beaulieu, and you're listening to Two Guys Talking Rush.
Hi, this is Dave Shingleton. You're listening to Two Guys Talking Rush.
Hi, this is Reid Smith. I'm a Rush fan just like you, and I'm listening to Two Guys Talking Rush.
Two guys are talking rush. Two guys are talking rush. Two guys are talking rush. Two guys are talking rush. Two guys.
And now, get ready for the Two Guys Talking Rush podcast with your hosts, John Kane and Dan Buxton.
Right, so I've made some notes. I think I got your email this morning, and I actually wrote back to the effect that I actually had moving pictures on my turntable there and then, because I'd been working through the albums chronologically. Yep. I'd skipped moving pictures just so I could have a listen to Exit Stage Left, which is a hint for later. Yeah. But I just last night, I put moving pictures on the turntable ready to listen to today, because I was desperately behind schedule and trying to catch up. But so I've listened to moving pictures several times today, and the top Vital Signs is coming in at number 7, I'm afraid, and that was the only easy decision. I don't really like that song much at all. It's I like Rush mostly as a hard rock band, and I wasn't necessarily enamored with the sort of the reggae new wave direction that they headed in there. Not to say I didn't enjoy Signals, especially tracks like The Analog Kid, which is one of my favorites, and Subdivisions and such like, but the reggae scene I wasn't necessarily keen on. But it's really difficult to rank the rest, but I've gone for number 6, Witch Hunt. That's a great riff. The riff in F sharp, that's you listen. I mean, Marilyn Manson has used that riff about 10 times, as far as I can tell, and there are
you noticed,
and it always sounds great. So I like that, and I've just also, I mean, I've just made some notes here. It's sadly the lyrics are so very topical, just to this day, which is a great shame. Ignorance, prejudice, and fear, etc. Anyway, number 5, The Camera Eye. Love the guitar solo. And am I right in saying was it their last really long song that they did as well?
Clock's in it like 9 minutes long, that song, right?
Yeah. I think
it's pretty long though.
Was it the last really long song that they recorded?
Yeah, it's a little over 10 minutes, I think, and I'm pretty sure you're right that was the last like.
Well, what song on A Clockwork Angel's like 7 or 8 minutes long?
Flight, right?
Headlong Flight. Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, Headlong Flight. Sorry.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, good one.
So and the Camera Eye. I mean, I wrote to you guys a while ago about the English conversation.
Hello,
which I think that helped. That got me my invite, actually. But I would suggest that by them saying the posh fella going, "Oh, hello," and then the guy going, "All right, Gov." That might be Rush's take on the class system in the UK.
Right.
The posher guy sort of like saying hi, and the guy with the sort of Cockney accent potentially automatically sort of assuming a subservient role. All right, governor, as in all right, boss. Yeah. So it might be a comment on the British class system.
Sort of like the upper deck, those who dwell in the upper deck of the Titanic, and the other ones that sort of.
That's right, yeah. And of course, Peart lived in the UK as well for a while, didn't he? In the early 70s, I believe. So, I mean, I would hope that we're not as obsessed with class now as we were back then, but I'm probably least qualified to comment, being a Brit myself. But the Camera Eye, great fun, love it, and it was a privilege to see them play it in the Time Machine tour. Loved that live. Number 4, I've got YYZ. I mean, it's just the ultimate muso instrumental, isn't it, really? I mean, it's just, you know, I was watching clips from Beyond the Lighted Stage the other day, and the Sao Paulo gig, where the Brazilian crowd are jumping and singing along to the melody. I mean,
Amazing.
They were nuts.
And you can see the band just that how much they're absolutely loving it. I mean, it's great. So yeah, love YYZ, and also I have to admit I've seen Rush not crazy amount of times. So I've seen them sort of about 13, 14 times, and I've never failed to scream at the end of the intro to YYZ. I've never failed to scream, "Come on, Geddy!" You know, like the guy off the Exit Stage Left live album. So I'm that idiot who's joining in with that. I'm afraid. Number 3, Tom Sawyer. Yes, you know, it's the gateway. It is the gateway song, isn't it? Really,
It really is. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Just talking about the guitar solo, Reid, you love the solo. I remember going on not long after I got into the band, we went on a school trip to the Peak District in the north of England. Beautiful scenery, lots of long walks, and I had the guitar solo from Tom Sawyer on a loop in my head throughout those long walks. So I just could not get it out of my head, and I was happy. You know, it was good. It was great. So that was interesting. And I think also the fill-ins at the end of Tom Sawyer, the drum fills. I think everybody's played air drums. Yeah. Everyone's played air drums to them. I mean, even, you know, I can't, you know. So great fun.
Question.
Right, number 2, Limelight. Killer opening riff I've written here, which is great, amazing soaring solo, and I think lyrically it's kind of like a gentle request from Neil Peart to give him some space.
Yeah, leave me the fuck
alone. And I'd say gentle is the operative word, with him being I think a gentleman, and I think the whole band, all 3 of them are gentlemen, aren't they? Which is
definitely.
That's important. It's important to me that they are actually gentlemen, or they were, sadly, in Neil's case. You know, I mean, I love Motley Crue, but you know, I wouldn't necessarily want to meet them, but I'd like to meet the guys from Rush. You know, and so that leaves Red Barchetta as number 1. And I think that's just, I've written here, and it's a really exciting song.
Yeah.
Both lyrically and musically. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to immerse yourself in the song and feel like you're careering around country lanes in the cockpit of a sports car.
That's my whole, I don't 100% agree with you. That's exactly what I wrote down. Like, you just close your eyes in your dream, like you're out there, you know, with the Red Barchetta, with these, like, you know, the things from Star Wars, you know, those air machines, and you're racing with this damn thing. Yeah, exactly. I agree 100% with you. It's just like
it's one of those songs that it paints a picture and it tells a story without it being Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, without it just being some cheesy story song.
Right. It's not this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's more, I don't know.
Moments, and you piece them together yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And how many people get excited when you come to a 1-lane bridge?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also the music itself, without the lyrics, you almost, if you listen to it without the lyrics, it still evokes the same storytelling emotion, and most particularly the bridge. You know, bump, bump, bump. It's like, whoa! I'm on the highway. I'm on the road. You know,
amazing.
Like it is amazing. Yeah. So that's another.
The introduction to the solo sounds like a car taking a bend at high speed.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only other thing to mention is I teach a little bit of guitar, and the natural harmonic introduction. You know, the ding ding. I actually teach that to people just to show as a harmonic thing, which is just like a nice touch, which you know, it increases my love for the song. And it's also just got that beautiful. I mean, Geddy's tone, the bass tone on that, the whole album, just that with that just a little bit of distortion. And the bass solo in Red Barchetta really highlights that. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
So yeah, and so best solo then, I've got Limelight. I've read or heard somewhere that it's Alex's favourite as well, actually. But but I just think I've written here it gives Dave Gilmour a run for his money.
I love Gilmour, man. I love Gilmour.
Yeah, brilliant player.
Yeah,
brilliant
very
player.
underrated. Two underrated guitars right there, folks. Gilmour and Lifeson, most definitely.
Yeah,
And
I'm not sure. Well, it's interesting.
Gilmour's
Gilmour is revered in the UK, actually.
Yeah,
I think, but Lifeson not so much, but he should be.
Oh yeah.
And I just the solo. I mean, the note placement. I mean, I've actually written it is perfection, and there's the just gorgeous tremolo work.
Yeah,
and it's just so accurate. You know, he's there and live as well. He's really he's spot on as far as
with regard to that solo and its evocative emotional phrasing. I almost feel a little bit of that in the solo of The Garden. If you watch him play that live, and if you even listen to it, as simplistic as it is in its presentation, it is a hugely emotional solo. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, perfect fit for that song. Yeah, perfect fit for that song.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
A lot of what Alex does.
That was the question he was going to ask you. What solos you liked outside of moving pictures? That was going to be my one, The Garden. But
No, but a lot of a lot of what Alex does, and I think a lot of why he sounds the way he does is because a lot of what he plays are vocal melodies.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff you would normally sing and not necessarily think to play. A lot of guitar players, when it's like, oh, okay, time for my solo, it's like pentatonic. You know, they don't put a lot of thought into it. It feels like
actually my fingers go.
Oh, that's all I can do. That's the only thing I can do. But I still have to look at
another loophole, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, when you take apart Alex's solos, like fragment by fragment, it's like, wow, it's a lot of very unusual choices. It all flows really well, so it doesn't sound unusual while you're listening to it. But if you try to play it, it's like, oh, I would never think to put those notes together, that kind of a thing.
Dave, did you have a lyric you liked?
I've gone for Red Barchetta.
Yeah,
and I've written here. I'm not sure I can find a better example of sort of lyrics reflecting in the music and vice versa.
Yeah,
you know, it's just the whole excitement thing. You know, you can put yourself in the cockpit, as it were. I mean, I don't even drive, you know. but I can still imagine what it's like whizzing around in that sort of Ferrari. And also I'm an uncle as well. I've written, so I like the fact that it's, you know, it's nice to be a cool uncle with cool stuff that your niece can play with. You know, and mine come over here and they have a go on the old. I've got one of the old drum kit here, which they have a go on and stuff. So it's nice.
And Dave, what about your top 5 Rush albums, if you were to rate?
All right, okay. I've made more notes. Okay, I'm going to go, well, live albums included. So for Dan, I'm going to go direct to the stage left. Especially for Dan.
Thank you.
One of the reasons. Also, sorry, honourable mention for Clockwork Angels. Honorable mention because I think I think Clockwork Angels is the best record they've made for 30 years. And what a beautiful bookend to a career, you know. I mean,
agreed.
Absolutely fantastic. And the only other thing about Clockwork Angels, a sort of a sad story in a way, you've heard of the magazine Classic Rock.
Of course.
You could buy a fan pack of a Classic Rock fan pack of the Clockwork Angels album in advance of the release of the record.
Yeah.
So a whole load of us bought the fan pack, and then the following week, the record was released, and the record got to number 2. Had they included the fan pack purchases, it would have been Rush's first number 1 album in the UK.
Wow.
So we scuppered Rush's only chance to have a number 1 album in the UK, which was absolutely gutting, but it's great fun anyway. And so there we are. So yeah, Clockwork Angels, wonderful. But Exit Stage Left is number 5. It was my introduction to Rush. It's got versions of Xanadu, La Villa Strangiato, and Free Will, which I think are better than the studio versions.
Yes, yes.
You know, and I'm just thinking in particular, after Frozen in an Everlasting View off Xanadu, on the studio album, there's a really lovely delayed kind of like that, which is great. But on the live on Exit Stage Left, Alex does the most ridiculously far, just like crazy.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So, and I just remember we used to get a mono tape recorder, and I'd have a D90 cassette of Exit Stage Left, and we'd be whizzing. We'd have the tape recorder playing in the street, and we'd be doing BMX jumps around the street to Exit Stage Left. So it's got some brilliant memories for me of the sort of mid 80s, really. And of course the drum solo. And Bruins Bane as well, Into the Tree. Bruins Bane is just, I love Bruins Bane.
Love that.
I mean, Alex is such a fantastic classical guitar player
Yes.
as well. So amazing. And it covers the best of Moving Pictures and Permanent Waves that I haven't included in my top 5. Number 4, Fly By Night. I just love the sound of that record. Anthem, I think Paul mentioned earlier, just a great heavy metal song, really. Biter and the Snow Dog, the first foray into sort of epic kind of stuff. Love it. And I really like the mellower side too. Making Memories. Slide solo from Alex, I think, in Making Memories, is only foray into slide playing, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So something, and very nice it is too. So lots of stuff in there, and in the end as well. Beautiful. Love the way, just killer crunching riff, little bit of 12-string guitar. I love the way they chuck it down from D up to E. Like that. Beautiful. So there's lots to love there. And then my top 3, which are kind of interchangeable, as has been sort of mentioned before, and I've also made a note to mention these are also my top 3 albums by anyone ever. So these are, this is top 3 ever, whoever by, not just Rush. But at the moment, I've got Hemispheres at 3, which is the F sharp intro chord to Hemispheres. Mm-hmm. The Rockfield Welsh Connection, which is great. I love the solos in the Hemisphere, in the title track. There's 2 or 3 fantastic solos in there. La Villa Strangiato is one of my favorite songs. I was playing in a band in the early 90s, and we lost our singer. He went off unexpectedly to college. I think he had girlfriend trouble or something. Anyway, he buggered off anyway. And so we had a gig, in a couple of weeks' time. We couldn't be bothered to do much else. So we played La Villa Strangiato badly, I might add, very badly. But it was really, really good fun to do, and incredibly difficult. I'm still absolutely nowhere near. I'd never get anywhere near the playing that Alex did on that. But it was really good fun to play. The Trees, a beautiful song, and I mentioned the Bruins Bane intro in Exit Stage Left, and I also I like the way, looking at I watched Beyond the Lighted Stage for the other time, for about 3rd or 4th time the other day. Went to the cinema to see Beyond the Lighted Stage as well, which was fantastic. We were starved of Rush in the media in the UK. There was nothing really about them in the UK. Occasionally they'd get in sounds, occasionally they'd get in Kerrang, but we were really starved of Rush in the UK. So it was amazing to go to, I think Basingstoke, I went to the cinema to see Beyond the Lighted Stage. Nice. And I love the fact that they say hemispheres broke us, basically. We overstretched. We got, it was too difficult. We had to fit La Villa into 3 different parts because it was so bloody difficult. I love that. I think that's absolutely fantastic. They were just going for it. And
didn't Colbert say, "Do you guys ever inspire yourselves?" That's a good
the length of the
You
song.
ever played a song so long that you actually inspired yourself?
I love that. Yeah, that was good.
That was great. And then, did you ever see the next episode? So the next episode starts, and he's asleep on his desk with a pillow, and Rush is still playing. Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
That's funny.
Brilliant.
So Dave, who's your number one? Your number one album.
Oh, well, sorry, 2112 is number 2.
Yep.
Just, side one, absolutely love. I mean, Discovery. I was learning to play guitar around about the same time that I was getting into Rush, so that was, important. I think it's probably the first studio album of theirs that I really got into, and also it includes one of my favourite tracks in Lessons. I love Lessons. I just it was great, and I think Lifeson wrote the lyrics to that as well.
Yes, that's right.
The only Rush track that he wrote lyrics for, possibly. So, and I love it. Great riff, and there's some beautiful drum work all the way through. Just the usual stuff, really. Number 1, Farewell to Kings. Xanadu and Cygnus X1 are my 2 favourite songs of theirs, I think. And I love the title track, the classical guitar intro, the Gibson, the 335, the sound Alex, gets on that. I mean, my missus got me a 335 for my 40th birthday, and I chucked it through a Marshall, and I cried because I got somewhere near to the sound Alex gets. Nice. On those sort of mid-70s album. It actually literally brought me to tears. And it's just a great sounding record. And again, it was recorded in the country of my birth as well.
Right. Love that. Awesome choices.
So that's my top 5 albums.
Good job. That was great. Paul, what about you, man? Here we are finally. Paul. Tell us.
I think it was easy. What are we going? We're top album or top songs, right?
Oh, start with your top, your ratings of the moving pictures.
Well, this is really tough because I had it written down, and then listening to everybody here, it's kind of like shit. Maybe I was wrong, right? But as we talked about earlier, before everybody joined in, Vital Signs. It was not my favorite off that album, but you got a good point in that it was kind of the bridge to the next style of music coming from. But also saying that was my least favorite. It's still a fantastic song. Like, I'm not saying, oh my God, it's terrible. I listen to it all the time. But there's so many other great songs in that album, right? So my number 6 would have been well, that's a tough one. I have it between the Camera Eye and Tom Sawyer. And I would go probably number 6, I would go Tom Sawyer, only because we've heard it so many freaking times. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a fantastic song. It was one of Neil's favorites. He always said when he could play that, and he was on spot for that night, right? So, I mean, can't condemn it that way. But again, like it became a little too mainstream, right? Then I would go Camera Eye, which I love, in New York and in London, and the little stories about it, like a soft spring rain and the English rain. Well, I don't know about Wales. I've never experienced a soft rain in Wales when I've been there. It's like a freaking hurricane every time.
West Coast.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, because I used to go visit Stuart, right? And he lives up in Aberdare, up in the mountains. So that's where I used to go visit him all the time. And then up there, there's the sheep roam wild, and it's like the freaking rain comes down. It's massive. There's no soft spring rain up there. Yeah. It does. Sorry, Camera Eye. Witch Hunt. Love Witch Hunt. And I was trying to get Terry to get on here, see if I could get him, but he's busy. But he was telling me the story about Witch Hunt. It's like one night, like they used to slowly switch over to doing everything late at night rather than during the day, and then they get up like around noon or something, right? He says one night when for a witch hunt, they all got hammered, and he just brought a couple of mics to put them up on boom stands outside the studio, and everybody's there screaming. So that's all the crew. That's all the people working on the project at that time, having a bunch of drinks and going out and just screaming and whatever. That's how the crowd came in the witch hunt. So I thought it was pretty good. I mean, YYZ, you can't go wrong with that. You know, to me, that's again, they're just going, okay, you guys are maybe catching up, or there's tribute bands. You can do, hey, look at this. Try to play this, right? Yeah. You know, then it gets tough. I think my last two, like Limelight and Red Barchetta. Limelight, fantastic. You know, the solo, my favorite solo is from Limelight again. He just so fits in with that song. It's just brilliant. But came down to, as you already mentioned, Red Barchetta. You know, you just close your eyes and you go into a different world with that song. And it's just so good. It's just, I can't find anything wrong with that song from start to finish. Everything about it is just fantastic. I just love it. So that would be my songs.
All right. How about your favorite solo?
I'll say Limelight. Yeah, you know, no doubt about that one. Yeah, for me,
and lyrics on that album.
Lyrics. I got an obscure one. An ounce of perception, a pound of obscure from Vital Signs. Even though I said it was my favorite song, I always remember that lyrics. I don't know why. And it doesn't matter where I am, I can always remember it.
Because they're good.
Yeah, because they're good. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, process information at half speed. You know, it's like it just that. There's a lot of parts of Vital Signs that stick out to me, so I don't know why I put it down so low. But I mean, I think again, it's just because every song in that album is just fantastic to me.
Yeah,
every one of them,
awesome.
right? It's really hard.
There's always something, isn't it? There's always something.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
I know, that's right.
Yeah.
Top five. I know this is difficult for you, Paul. The top 5 Rush albums.
Well, yeah. Can I say? Oh no, that's a cop of.
Dan and I are becoming famous for this, by the way.
Yeah.
seriously.
Well, you know, it's funny. After listening to Caress of Steel, that's up there. I would put that in my fifth. Then Farewell Kings, Hemispheres, Moving Pictures, and Permanent Ways are all in there. But I got to go to a couple of the live albums, and I like Clockwork Angels because I actually did enjoy, and I got to know a lot of the string section, and I kind of liked it in there. I really did. You know, the first one I went, and then all of a sudden, you know, I think I saw another 15 shows on that tour. So by the time that was over, I'm going, this is really good. It's a great touch to it, right? Yeah. And then finally, for me personally, Time Machine Tour, only because I set up with Peggy and the road crew, and that's when I spent about 10 shows, and each show I spent with one member of the road crew. You know, it'd be either Brad Maddox and Brett Carpenter and Sound,
good guys,
and stuff like that. So I mean, it doesn't get much better than that to spend 12 shows with the road crew, getting treated as a road crew, sitting on the side of the stage watching the shows. But one of the Toronto shows, I didn't let Terry know, but I got us 2 great seats. Well, through Anthony, through Peggy, and that we were, you know, sitting with all the people from Anthem Entertainment on the side of the stage, watching it, and just to watch him see moving pictures in its entirety. I mean, I spent more time watching his facial expressions than watch him go, oh yeah, I'm watching playing, you know, moving pictures in its entirety than I think I watched, because I already seen the show a couple times. So it was more fun for me to sit there and watch Terry's reaction to them playing it live, and I could see him reminiscing and going back into time, and you know, and that was worth like anything. That was just, it was great. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's how I get to those.
Good job. Yeah. Delightful Dan. Hit us, buddy.
Well, I must, of course, preface this by saying every song on Moving Pictures is good. I listen to it all the way through. I never skip anything. These are like my children. And disclaimer. Having said that, the unwanted 7th child of mine, I'm sorry, is Camera Eye. I love Camera Eye.
Yeah.
On any other album,
controversial.
On any other album, it would probably be the best song on the album. Unfortunately, it has a lot of competition on this album, and sadly, that is where it ends up. I always listen to it though. Vital Signs is number 6. It's fine. I have no problem with it. Limelight, I put at number 5. Red Barchetta at number 4. Tom Sawyer at number 3. YYZ at number 2. and Witch Hunt at number 1. So basically my list, I think, is the exact opposite of Reid's, if I'm not mistaken. Like literally
I don't care if you're wrong. It's like nothing
That's
to
like,
me.
yeah. Best guitar solo, I hate to be predictable, but Limelight, it just immediately jumped into my head when I read the words favorite guitar solo. And it's like, I got to cop to it. That's the one. And as far as lyrics, like Dave said, Witch Hunt is still very relevant to this day. All of their lyrics tend to stay relevant, and even I've found have sort of aged with me. Like a song that meant one thing to me when I was 21 maybe meant something different to me when I was 35 and then when I was 50. Witch Hunt, nothing has changed since that song was written. And even there have been some things going on in our fine country that are uncomfortably close to a lot of the stuff depicted in that song.
Well, there are still people around, so you're going to get that.
That's true. Yeah.
There were people back in the 80s, and there are still people today.
And there were people prior to the 80s also.
History period.
Yeah, no. One thing that you had in Neil was, he really understood history and he really understood human behavior. And I think for him to write a song like Witch Hunt was just totally natural. Like, I don't know what his process was. I don't know how long it took him to write them or whatever. But to me, those are almost like, if you had to come up with like classic Neil lyrics, those would definitely be up there for me.
Also, that song translated live very well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah. I love the riff too. Just the riff itself is just like,
it's super heavy.
Yeah. Very nice.
And the cowbell.
Everything in it. And I didn't know that what I was hearing at the beginning was drunken crew, as opposed to a bunch of like 16th century Puritans.
About 1 a.m.
We had that on our
torches.
Studio.
We had that. We sort of talked about that on. We had a Halloween show, and we were trying to pick themes out of that. And we talked about that then.
It was the spookiest. It was very scary.
Well, they used to play volleyball too, right, at night. So they come out about 2 in the morning. You have power generators.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
They play volleyball on the beach, and then then I was talking to Terry also about the time when he put Neil's drums on the raft. That didn't go too well.
Oh, well,
nice.
Yeah. I mean,
they
not
built the raft
surprising.
to fit the drums, and they forgot what spot to put Neil, right? So they had to build a little extra part out for Neil's drum steel. He didn't feel comfortable. I didn't like it, but they did get a couple of tracks, a couple of sounds of it. The sound of the idea for Terry was brilliant. Having the drums go across the lake, natural reverb. He said it was unbelievable, but unfortunately, the way the little deck was built, it didn't go over too well with the guy that had to play the drums on it. Yeah.
Dan, favorite lyrics?
Oh, well, I just did from Witch Hunt, but I do. I do want to repeat the Reid, when you were reading off your list of 7 favorites, I was looking at mine, and I was like, "This is a joke, right?" Because you were like literally doing in the exact opposite order of what I was doing. So when I was reading,
we're all agreed they're all good though. Every track is good.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
we all had the disclaimer. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was reading off mine, I was looking at you, Reid, specifically to be like, okay, when's he going to notice? When's he going to notice? When's he going to notice? But you were being very polite and not saying.
I was trying.
Yeah,
I was trying.
You succeeded. Yeah,
you did well. Sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Imagine if Getty listened to this episode and be like, dude, you guys got to get a fucking life. God damn.
Getty, love you.
Yeah, we're not getting one. We're not getting a life. It's not happening.
Are you Dan? Are you done, Dan?
I'm done.
Dan, can I just mention on the subject of lyrics? As I said, I've caught up with every episode of your podcast.
Thank you.
I understand.
That means a lot. That means it means a lot to us that you took the time.
Can I just show you this tea towel that I have, which has the lyrics to "Something for Nothing"?
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Wow.
When I heard that you enjoyed "Something for Nothing's" lyrics, so basically that's a tea towel I have.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're kind of. I mean, it's just parallel lives.
I think that makes you a super fan, man. I haven't heard anybody have a tea towel.
It might do, yeah. But it is. When I was listening to it, it was a fairly recent one, and it is what you own is your own kingdom. Right. What you do is your own glory. Yeah. But the lyrics that I really really dig is in your head is the answer. Let it
Yes.
guide you along. Let your heart
Yeah.
be the anchor and the beat
Yep.
of your own
It's
song.
Sort
It's
of
I mean,
it's like
sort of-
advice. It's like advice I want to give to other people. It's like something
Yeah.
I want to impart to my son. You know, it's
absolutely,
and it's given me purpose in life when I needed it. You know, so
All right.
And it's a recurring theme with Pete as well, isn't it? Make your own mind up, basically.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
It's all Neil right there, man. All Neil.
fantastic.
All right.
Yeah,
All
brilliant.
right. So I'm last, and that's okay. I'll probably get a beaten. I'll get a bit beaten down for my choices here. But number 7 is Tom Sawyer for me, and there's several reasons why. I'll get into a couple of them. One of which is I've heard it a gazillion times, you know, and that doesn't mean I don't like it. I think, like I said before, it's the musicianship, the level of musicianship, the quality of the music, the quality of the lyrics are profound, but just I think I'm done with it for a while. 6 is YYZ. The one thing I loved about Rush the most is the non-lyrical compositions. I love all their instrumentals. I think this with YYZ, it goes in the category of Tom Sawyer. I've just heard it so much live and recorded, and that doesn't mean I don't like it. I love them. I mean, there was one time where they were still fresh in my head, and I embraced them and hugged them like everybody does. But there it goes. Number 5 is Witch Hunt. That was a tough one because Witch Hunt is just I mean, what can you say? It's an incredible tune. It's super impactful, both lyrically and musically. Number 4, this was hard, was Red Barchetta, because at one time I would have said that Red Barchetta was my favorite song on the album, and there's so much about it that's just absolutely incredible. I mean, the storytelling, the music, the vibe, the emotional quality of the song is absolutely unparalleled. I couldn't think of another song that exists that is as good as Red Barchetta anywhere, right? Number 3, because I want to be controversial and fresh in some way. I don't know why, but Vital Signs. I love Vital Signs because it's so quirky. It's the oddball. And like I was telling Paul, I always viewed Vital Signs as sort of a transformative song. To me, Vital Sign is a warning sign to what is to come. And I mean warning sign in a good way of what is to come for Rush. It has all of the symbolism, the musical quality, the content, what there was going on culturally for Rush. And Vital Signs is a bridge into the future of Rush, and sort of a kind of a channel, a wormhole into Signals and Grace Under Pressure, and then of course the 80s Rush, which we all seem to ignore in our top 5.
Yes.
No one really picked an 80s album there, but that's okay. And number 2 is Camera Eye. I always loved Camera Eye, just for its landscape of visual storytelling, and the musical landscape of the changes in the song, and just a beautiful tune, and I like long songs. I think I was always into progressive metal as a kid. I love Fate's Warning and Dream Theater and Iron Maiden, and I just love that about Rush, is that's like, hey, we don't give a shit. We're gonna write a song that's 12 minutes long. Deal with it. Either you love it or you don't. Number 1 for me is we had a show where we asked what was if you were to pick one Rush song, and we won't torture you, Paul. Look at him, he's already struggling. If we were to choose one Rush song, what would that be? And I was torn between Subdivisions and Limelight, just because to me they're the song that I think sound the most. They're the songs that sound the most like Rush at a point in their careers that just sort of embodied everything they had done. Right. I mean, all the way through the 70s, they build themselves up to this finite golden nugget of a band. And to me, Subdivisions and Limelight were like that. Anyway, Limelight is my number 1, just because it's just, I mean,
Great song.
it's a great song, and it's representative of Neil's personality so much. It's a real personal song, and because Neil is just this force in the band, it's the one tune. And then, of course, I would agree with Dan. The guitar. I was listening to all the guitar solos and pieces, and I'm like, it's just no. I mean, really, I think just structurally, as far as the approach to the song and the way Alex plays the guitar solo at Limelight, is just the best one. It's the best. It's the best of the best. It's the standard on the album. I think it's just so beautiful. And then lyrics, funny. And Paul, I agree with you. An ounce of perception, a pound of obscure, process information at half speed, pause, rewind, replay, warm memory chip, random sample hold. I mean, come on, dude. It's incredible. It's like future. He's talking about the future, man. You know, philosophically, you know, talking about what's coming down the pike, man. These are warning signs for
where do you
Rush.
Where do you find a guy that writes that and the guy that can sing it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, like it's not Kiss Love Gun or some shit like that. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's not ROCK. Give me, you know, like maybe Ricky does in the Trailer Park.
It's not the Bay City Rollers, man.
It is not. No.
Every one of the lyrics that Neil writes are just unbelievable, right? And Geddy can sing it. He can sing it
to a fucking reggae rhythm.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, come on. I mean,
You know,
unbelievable.
As someone who's been forced to play Shang-a-Lang live on stage, I take umbrage at the Bay City Rollers reference. But no, I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not joking. Actually, it was awful.
yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Well, listen. I want to
thank
thank Paul, Dave, Reid for coming on to Two Guys Talking Rush. What a fabulous episode and experience this has been. I love meeting new Rush fans because we all sort of connect on some level in some way, and that's the majesty of Rush, you know, and their prolific body of work, and how you know, we can all just get together and really kind of just connect in such a meaningful way. It's not just, you know, it's not just about guitar riffs and this and that. It's really a meaningful experience, and you know, I just want to thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys, and
thank you guys. You guys are rock stars in my world, and I enjoy listening to you guys. Just keep it up. Thank you for the time that you devote to this and make it a priority. And
that means
wonderful.
So much to us, and we appreciate that you're saying that so much.
Thank you guys.
Hey, John,
Sir.
send me your address and I'll send you this.
Wow.
What's that? A Rush? It's Roll the Bones.
Is it Roll the Bones that you want?
Oh yeah, well that's hard to find, man.
All those 90 vinyls hard to find.
You selling it? I'll buy it off you.
No, I'll send it you. Just send me your address. I'll send you.
Wow.
You dislike that album so much that you will send it.
No. It's a good record, but
it is. It's a hard to find one.
Just as a thank you.
Oh man,
for the work you're doing.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, man.
And what is it, Dan? I don't know whether this one.
Wow.
I don't have a turntable, but yes, thank you.
Wow.
Well, I want to even things up because I love you both equally.
Oh, thank you, man. That's so kind.
I mean,
well, if Dan doesn't want it, I'll take it. I don't have that one.
You know what? Send it to John, and that's good enough for me. That's fine.
What we'll do for you is we'll send you copies of our books. Both Dan and I are authors, and we'll send you a couple copies.
All I want really is just your love.
Dan wants to be loved.
I just want to be loved.
I think you already have it. To be honest, both of you guys, and also Paul and Reid. It's been lovely.
Yeah,
it's been lovely.
you, Dave and Reid. Yeah,
brothers.
Paul, were you going to say something?
I got a quick question for you though. How many people do you think you know now that you didn't know because of Rush and some of the cool experiences that you had? I can just go quickly. I've been to a castle in Scotland and stayed with the family that got married because they met because of Rush. I don't know if you know George Summers. You might have heard. He was in a Time Stand Still video. He's the guy that died and they rescued brought him back to life.
Yeah.
So I was actually at him and Pam's wedding in Scotland, staying in a castle, in a 14th century castle, because of Rush fans, right? I mean,
wow.
Yeah, like, you know, and a lot of us have these experiences like that. I'm sure that would be something to think about. Another topic is ask people their experience and how they met, how many people they've met, and how many of us are all common Rush fans.
Believe it or not, you know, I'm all about the fan episodes because it really you get into the trenches and you get down to why we're doing this. But a lot of fans are shy. They don't want to sort of talk. Yeah, that's hard to get people talking, you know. But that's an excellent idea, Paul. I agree with you.
Yeah. I love the fan episodes. I could sit here and just shoot the shit with these guys forever, happily, you know. So
My friend Nigel, he says
Yeah.
he doesn't mind Rush so much, but he hates Rush fans.
I love Nigel. I love Nigel. More Rush for me.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Nigel.
His name would be Nigel, wouldn't
Hey
it?
Nigel, fuck off. I want
Nigel, we're
actually
coming for you.
I want Nigel on the show. Like get
Yeah,
Nigel on the
Oh.
show.
And my wife.
And your wife. There
And
it
my
is.
son. Yeah.
Dan, we need to get people.
We got to
who
do the
can-
haters show. We must do the haters show.
Yes.
Hey, he'll be on it. And if anything for publicity, he's got his autobiography out. He's got a couple of albums out.
Oh, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A
Hey,
shameless
on the
promoter.
subject of publicity, can I just
Yes, plug.
say,
Yes.
Plug away.
the bass player in a band I'm in, Sin City Rockers, AC/DC and Thin Lizzy covers. Thank you. Come and see us when we start gigging again. But anyway, yeah, Paradox Twin, the bass player. She's doing prog for Peer, which I think you guys know about.
Yeah.
Which is in Oxfordshire, Abingdon, Oxfordshire,
yeah.
first weekend in July. I think
Nice.
I think it's been mentioned on the show before, so I thought I'd just mention that. And yeah, shameless plug of Sin City Rockers, AC/DC, and Thin Lizzy. A nice combination, I think you'll agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We're at Woking. First gig is maybe Wokingham Festival last Sunday in August.
You have a website?
In Wokingham or Wokingham.
Yeah,
I would say yes.
What's your website? You got a website? Website, Dave? Website?
Well, Sin City Rockers, Sin with a Y. I've no idea why, but Sin City Rockers, AC/DC and Thin Lizzy. It's all good fun. I play rhythm guitar. If you're going to do rhythm guitar, be Malcolm.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
That's,
Well, you have to
that's
do-
what
you don't have
you
to
gotta
play
say. And if you're going to play,
Walk up to the mic and then walk back, right?
sorry.
Malcolm, you have to do is you play, then you walk up to the mic, sing, and then walk back and stand by your hand. Right?
Genius.
But he was great. Yeah, I loved him.
He
yeah.
was great. That's
Beautiful.
definitely right.
And if you're gonna do Lizzie, be Scott, because he had the best hair, which
Yeah.
I used to have reasonable hair,
Me too.
but no longer. So there we are.
Yeah, brutal. Brutal. And Reid, do you have anything to plug? You're
I don't. I just I'd love to plug Two Guys Talking Rush, but that's
okay.
already got
That'll
an
work.
audience. So
Just
yeah,
no.
I'm not in it for me. I'm just in it to share with you guys. So thank
Awesome. Paul, you got something
Yeah.
to plug, Paul?
one last plug, because I want to invite all you guys personally to hopefully Rush Fest Scotland in May 22nd next year, May 22nd, 23rd on 2022.
Okay.
Hopefully we can all be together. And just to let you know, I'm bringing a couple people over with me. One of them kind of did all the album covers for Rush, and one of them we've already mentioned,
Nice.
Terry Brown. And we bringing Jacob Moon over too. I don't know if you've heard of Jacob.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna-
So I'm bringing
Yeah,
all
you had him on the
those
show.
guys over. So you guys are more invited. If you show up, I make sure I get you all pissed up there and take a drink, and we'll have a good time.
Thank
Well,
you very
Jake-
much.
Thank you.
Jacob was on the show, and I think we told Steve we'd love to do a. I think we'd like to bring Two Guys Talking Rush on the road at some point, and
Yeah.
we'd like to do a podcast from somewhere. That'd be
Well,
fun.
2022, if we can all go, that'd be the time. Because the Friday night, we're going to do like more of a sit down in like a theater, and
Yeah.
I'm going to interview Hugh and Terry, and Jacob's going to play. So that might
Nice.
be a good night to know, like, kind of, because the next day is when we have the tribute bands, and we have it gets pretty good. I mean, it's fun, but getting somebody sober to talk to you during the day might be tough.
That's
Right?
funny.
So, yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, Reid, I lived in South Carolina, Columbia for like 3 years. So,
Oh wow! Yeah, that's about an hour and a half. I'm about an hour and a half north of them.
yeah, whereabouts?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, I've been there many times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you related to Priscilla Presley?
I am actually.
I noticed the last name.
That's pretty. You're the first person to ever mention that. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, her maiden name is Beaulieu. We're related
wow.
like about
Oh, wow.
three things away from each other. Yeah. We're
Oh,
related. Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess I'm related to the king.
Odd facts known by few.
Yes.
Well, folks, Rush rules.
Rush rules.
Rush
Thank you,
rules.
guys.
Nice
Thank you guys.
What do you play, Paul? By the way, what
Well,
instrument?
my
do you play?
forte is the drums. I've got a set of Yamaha custom maple Japanese handmade drums exactly the same as Neil's new kit setup. But I had a recording studio, so over the years, I started picking up guitar and bass, and I've got a ES355 that I got Alex to sign at one of the golf tournaments we were playing in. And then I've got his acoustic PRS, and I got one of his Les Paul Access Viceroys, and I got Getty's first Japanese bass. It's a Fender bass. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I'm glad I asked. Nice one.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Well played.
All right, guys.
Take it easy, guys. Pleasure.
Yeah,
Love you.
cheers.
Thanks
Love
for
you
being
guys.
in. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Peace. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Two guys talking, brush two guys talking, brush two guys talking, brush two guys talking, brush two guys.